Hello everyone. Yes, today we are going to look at stock markets, okay, and the fundamentals of it, where we are going to take an example of a company called VPCO Private Limited, and we'll walk through the steps, okay, the steps it takes to finally get listed on stock exchange, okay. Yes. So let's start with the quote, which you may have seen in my earlier presentations. Your mind is your greatest asset, and the knowledge you acquire is your greatest investment. Okay. Let's seek the blessings of Vidya Lakshmi, uh, the goddess of knowledge that creates wealth. Okay, since we're discussing about wealth here, let's seek the blessings. Yes, so the talk is named Investing in Stocks Part 1, and what we are going to discuss is what we're going to do in the series of these presentations is what is a company, how does it get formed, what is a share, okay, these are the buzzwords, and how does it how do people invest in it, and what is an IPO, and how shares are traded, and finally the important thing is how to analyze a company. Okay. Before that, uh, investing in stocks. So what is investing? Okay. Investing is anything where you put your money with the hope that the money will grow. Okay, that's what is called investing. So, what are the different available investing options that we have? Okay, the obvious thing where most people have is a savings account. But what is it? What is its return? It's about 3.5%. Okay. Then there is FD and RD. Uh, the interest rate is now about 4.5%. Then there is PF and PPF, whose interest rate is about 7 to 8.5%. Then there are government bonds. Uh, the interest rates can vary from 7 to 8%. Then there is gold, whose interest rate is about 12%. Okay, this is from the data from last 10 years, I believe. Okay, on average, gold has grown by 12% every year. And then there is real estate. So this will depend on place to place. And on an average, people have estimated to be about 6.3% over the last couple of years. Then there is stocks and mutual funds, which we are discussing today. And if you see the top some of the top stocks in Nifty, right? If you see their growth in the last 15, 20 years, so they have been growing at a annual rate of 18% on an average. Okay. So all this data is collected from these websites. Okay. Now, so when do we call an investment is good? So what do we mean by good investment? So these are all the investment options that we have listed. There could be so many other investment options as well. Okay. But what do we call a good investment? Okay. Yes, a good investment is anything in which you do not incur a loss, right? So here it says, as long as your investment returns do not beat or meet the inflation rate, okay, then you are at loss. So what is the meaning of this? So what is inflation? So inflation is nothing but the decrease in the purchasing power of money over time, or the decrease in the value of money over time. For example, let's say today you're able to buy something, let's say some food material for 100 rupees. Okay, the next year, okay, the cost of the same food material, okay, that could have grown to 110 rupees. Okay, which means you can say it has become costlier. That is one way of looking at it. Or the second way is the purchasing power of the money has reduced. Okay, in the same 100 rupees next year, okay, you can buy lesser amount, okay, of whatever the food item that you're purchasing. Okay, the decrease in purchasing power of the money or decrease in the value of the money over time is called inflation. Okay. Now, coming to investments, if your investments do not beat or at least meet this inflation rate, then you're always at loss. Okay. Now there could be a question. So what is the inflation rate in India? Okay. So inflation rate in India is about 5.5 to 6% over past couple of years. Okay. Now we can guess which of the investments that we discussed in the previous slide are good investments. Okay. Good investments are those which beat this 5.5 to 6% of inflation rate. So let's go back there and see. Savings account. Is it a good investment? No. Why? The interest rate or the interest rate is lesser than the inflation rate. Similarly, FD and RD, they're not a good investment. Okay. Which means over a period of time, if you keep your park your money in FD or RD or savings account, the value, okay, the value of that money will go down over time. That's what happens. So now we can see what are the good investments, right? PF, bonds, gold, stocks. Okay. So if you see all these, right? So the stocks over the past historically, the stocks have given the highest returns. Okay. If someone is picking good stocks or if someone is investing in the indices like Sensex and Nifty, so over the past years, these investments have beaten even the real estates as well. Okay, there is data for that. So that is why stock is considered to be the highest returning investment. At the same time, risky. Okay, because it is high return, it involves high risk as well. Okay, and you may have heard people saying, "Do not invest in stocks. It's highly risky. It's more like gambling." Okay, there are so many such misconceptions out there. What we're going to do is we're going to make this process, okay, these misconceptions, we are going to bust down these misconceptions. Okay, these whatever misconceptions are there, right? They are told by people who do not understand these instruments. Okay, or they do not uh, they have not acquired the sufficient knowledge to invest in these instruments. Okay, what we're going to do is we are going to slowly start with the baby steps, okay, and try to uh, understand this whole uh, field of stock markets. Okay, and we will discuss about mutual funds as well in the later sessions. Okay, so yes, this we have seen. Let's start with a hypothetical startup. Okay, Vinyasa's dairy startup, which is called VPCO Private Limited. So Vinyasa one day has wakes up and has this amazing idea of having a dairy startup. Okay, he has an amazing idea for a product, dairy product. Okay, and to start his business, okay, he needs capital. Let's say he starts with a capital of 1 lakh rupees, which he has saved in his bank account. Okay, he starts with an initial investment of investment capital of 1 lakh rupees. So with this 1 lakh rupees, what does he do? He starts setting up the milk processing plant and the required machinery. He buys them with this 1 lakh rupees. Okay. Th- Now a company is set up. Now, who is the owner of this company? Vinyasa. How much of the ownership does he have? He owns 100% of the ownership of the company. Okay, he has 100% stake in the company. Now, here is the next thing in the company's books, right? What he does is what he does is he since he has invested 1 lakh rupees, he says l- he creates a shares of 1 lakh. Okay, in a sense, he creates 1 lakh shares and offers himself 1 lakh shares with the value of each shares being 1 rupees. Okay, now what is a share now? A share here in this case is a piece of ownership. Okay, and he has 1 lakh pieces of ownership, right? So if the company, so each share costs 1 rupee and he owns 1 lakh of these shares, which amounts to 1 lakh capital he has invested. And that's how we can say he has 100% stake in the company. Okay, because he owns all these 1 lakh shares, he has 100% stake in the company. Okay, why did he do 1 lakh rupees, 1 lakh shares? Why did he create these 1 lakh shares? Why could he not create just one share of rupees 1 lakh, or 10 shares of rupees 10,000 each? That's up to him. That's his own choice. Okay, but for in this example, what I have done is I have chosen this example to ease our calculations later on. Okay, you will understand why that is so. Okay, now he has 1 lakh shares of Wipico Private Limited, each of value 1 rupee each. Okay, yeah. Let's look at his company's books. So owner is Vinyasa, the number of shares is 1 lakh, and ownership stake is 100%. And this is the pie chart. He owns 100% of the company. Okay. Now let's look at what happens after a year. After a year, the company is running pretty well. Okay, and the company is getting orders more than its capacity. Let's say its capacity is like 60,000 packets of dairy product per month. Okay, he suddenly starts getting 1.5 lakh packets of dairy product. Okay, that's more than he can produce. Okay, he sees that there is a rise in demand and he's not able to cope up with the demand. He's not able to meet that demand. Okay, so what will Vinyasa do now? Or what should Wipeco Private Limited what should it do? It has to plan an expansion. Okay, so Vinyasa plans to expand because he is the owner of the company. But what he estimates is he needs additional capital of 10 lakhs. Let's say he plans to have 10 such plants. Okay, initially he had only one plant of by investing 1 lakh. Now let's say he plans to have 10 such plants. Okay, he needs a capital of 10 lakh. Okay, but the problem is he does not have 10 lakh rupees at the moment. So what can he do? Okay, he has many options. The easiest one is he can ask his friends and relatives, or he can go to bank. These are the two options that he has got. But the bank, if he goes to bank and the bank denies his uh, request, stating that it is too risky to give a loan to a company that is not established well. Okay, he has only the track record of only 1 year, and bank does not. I mean, it doesn't. It sees it as a risk. Okay, that's what it does. So what does he do now? So he asks his friends, okay, and a good friend, Subba, who believes in this company's growth potential, pitches in and offers to invest. Okay, offers to give 10 lakh. Now, in return, right, what should Vinyasa do? So he has to, what Vinyasa does is he will say, okay, I'm going to give you 20% of the ownership of the company, okay, for your 10 lakh capital. So they come to an understanding at this point. Okay, what he does is he plans to sell 20% of the ownership of Webico Private Limited to Subba in exchange for rupees 10 lakh capital. So to do this, what should Vinyasa do? So he has to give 20,000 shares to Subba in exchange for 10 lakhs. So ownership would mean what? Possession of shares, right? Okay. So if you do the calculation, it will cost rupees 50 rupees per share. Okay. You may think it is costly, like we had 1 rupee per share a year ago and 50 rupees per share at this point of time. Okay. So why is it so costly? Because the company has a potential to grow. Okay. This 50 rupees per share can go up to 1,000 rupees per share in future because the company has potential to grow, right? So Vinyasa says, if for your 10 lakh, I'm going to give you 20% of the ownership. So Subba gets 20,000 shares. So this is how the company's books look like now. So owner is Vinyasa. He possesses 80,000 shares of the 1 lakh. Okay, and he has 80% of the stake. And then there is Subba who owns 20,000 shares, which amounts to 20% of the stake in the company. Okay, and this is how the pie chart looks like. Okay, 20% is with Subba and 80% is with Vinyasa. Okay, so now this goes on for another 5 years when the company starts, when pages into its business, goes on for another 5 years. And after 5 years, the company does extremely well. Okay, like unbelievable revenue, unbelievable profits. Okay, now this company plans to expand pan India. Okay, they want to go big. Okay, but to go big, the company needs a huge capital now, about 3 crores. Okay, now how to raise this 3 crores? So friends don't have it, and bank is again saying it is too risky business. Okay, it is too risky to give this company a loan. Okay, so this is where this company plans to go public. Okay, what is public? So just like when Subhak came in, right, with offering 10 lakh, okay, and Vinyasa in return gave him 20% of the stake. So now what Vipiko can do is, or Vinyasa can do is, he can offer another part of his ownership to the public, to the general public, and raise this 3 crore rupees. Okay, he can do that. So that's what is written here. In exchange for 3 crores, right, from public, Vinyasa offers to give 30% of his ownership, which means 30% of the ownership in the company. Okay, which means 30,000 shares. Vinyasa had 80,000 shares, and he plans to give 30,000 shares to the public. This is called initial public offering, so IPO. This has been a buzzword from last 1.5 to 2 years because in the news you see so many companies going public with IPO. The most recent and the famous one is Zomato IPO, right? So this is what happens in an IPO. So the owners of the company uh, offer some shares to the public, which means offers the ownership or give out their ownership, a part of their ownership to the public in return for capital. Okay, so this is a capital raising thing. So this is where the company gets the capital. Okay, and what do the public get? They get a share certificate. Okay, it is like an ownership document. So they get an ownership document, and that is what is commonly called share or stock. Okay, yes. Now let's come back to this. So each share in this case, so if he has to give 30,000 shares and raise 3 crore rupees, each share should will cost rupees 1,000. Okay, and this is how a company gets listed in stock exchange. Okay, once the shares are given to public, right? This is when the company gets listed in the stock exchange. So what is it? What is this stock exchange? So the name itself says exchange. So this is where the shares or stocks of the company get exchanged between public. Okay, like people like you and me. Okay, so what is the need for an exchange? let's say I purchase 10 of this VPCO private limited shares. Okay, VPCO's shares, okay, which will cost 10,000 each, which will ultimately amount to 10,000. Okay, after some months, I may want the money. Okay, I cannot go and ask VPCO to give me back the money because they would have invested in their business. Okay, what I can do is I can sell these 10 shares to someone who wants it. Okay, while selling, okay, while selling, I can ask for a higher price, right? If the company is doing very well and if company has a great good name, I can ask a higher price. Okay, instead of 1,000, I can ask for 1,200 rupees at this point. Okay, that is why you see prices going up and down. Okay, as one of the reasons. This is not the only reason. This is one of the reasons why you see prices going up and down in the stock market. So now let's look at the ownership again. So Vinyas, uh, yes, I think there is a mistake here. Let me just quickly correct that. Okay. So Vinyasa has 50,000 shares. Okay. And Subha has 20,000 and public has 30,000 shares. So ownership is also given here, right? So Vinyasa has 50% stakes. Subha has 20%, public has 30% stake. So this is how the pie chart looks like. Okay. Now the question is, one second. Yeah. Why should public buy VPCO shares? This is a buzzing question. Why should they buy it? So one is VPCO. This VPCO now you see VPCO Private Limited has become VPCO Public Limited, okay, because its shares are being traded in the public for the public. And why would public be interested in buying its stocks? There are many reasons. So three of them I have listed. One is VPCO may pay dividend. So what is a dividend? Dividend is a payout, right? Like a part of the company's earnings is given to shareholders. Okay, let's say company makes huge profit in a year. It can give a part of it back to shareholders, and it is completely up to company's discretion. Company can give, may give, or may not give. It's up to them. Okay, is one of the reasons. Second thing is this VPCO's share, right? Stock has the potential to grow over time as a company grows. The price of this stock uh, has a potential to grow, okay, and the demand for its shares may increase. Okay, this is what is called capital appreciation. Okay, let's say I bought this share set at 1,000 rupees now, and after 5 years, if the company does really well, right? So the value of this stock, which is currently 1,000 rupees, can go to 5,000. Okay, as the company grows, the value or the demand for the stock also goes, and when the demand rises, the prices also rise, right? So this is called capital appreciation, and after 5 years, I can go ahead and sell the share, so I will have 5x returns, right? This is another reason, and then the third reason is company may buy back the shares in the future, right? Let's say if plans to uh, Vinyasa has made a lot of money, and if he plans to buy back a part of the shares from the public, let's say he wants to get all of them back, all the 30%, so he has to pay what the market is offering or some higher than what the market price is, right? So that is another hope. So that's another possibility. Okay. These are the three ways that in which the public um, can make money in the stocks. Okay. So we are going to stop here. Okay. We're going to stop here, and there is a video by Netflix. So you can watch from 1:36. Okay, and 2 3 minutes from here, I think. Okay, you can the link is here and it will be in the description as well. So this will explain the whole process. Okay, they explain it very nicely with something called lemonade stand. Okay, so you can go through this. And in the next session, what we are going to discuss is how do we analyze a company? Okay, how do we purchase shares of a company? What do we, what should we look at before purchasing shares of a company that is listed in the stock exchange? Okay, till then, stay tuned. We will meet in the next session. Thank you.